if we ever felt our physical safety were threatened, we would take the appropriate steps to protect ourselves. Today I want to take you into the Bible and remind you that our spiritual welfare is also at stake, and there's some steps that we can take to protect ourselves spiritually from the enemies and the dangers that are all around. Stick with me just a moment. Let's talk about it. Let me take you to a few verses found in Ephesians chapter 6, beginning in verse 10 and following. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the schemes of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers, and against the rulers of darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Just listening to that language in the letter that Paul wrote to the church of Ephesus tells us something about the intensity of what we're up against. It's not flesh and blood. It's not a fair fight where it's man to man, face to face, if you will. But it is us against the enemy of God, Satan himself. Today I just want to remind you of this. Our enemy is real. If we ever think that that's just a myth, if we ever think that that's something we don't need to pay any attention to, we are setting ourselves up to be in a very dangerous place. And for the next several Recharge videos, we're going to be looking at the specific steps we need to take. But step number one is really this. Understand that we have an enemy, someone that hates us because we're followers of God, that hates the God that we serve, is the avowed enemy of our Lord. That being the case, we better not just go through life unsuspecting. We better be walking with our eyes open, and particularly with our eyes focused on the Lord. That's what he says, be strong in the Lord. All that we're going to look at following is simply this. Our protection comes from God himself, not from our own efforts. Today I just want to encourage you. Will you just spend some time recognizing that you have an enemy and just once again falling upon the mercy of God, and maybe talk to him about that in prayer, and ask him to protect you spiritually, and ask him to help you learn what you need to know so that you can put on this whole armor of God. So stick with me over the next few weeks as we look at the armor of God, and may we find the protection that God has already in store and in place for us as we face a very serious enemy.